Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Brew Gentleman Brewing Company out of Braddock, Pennsylvania. I finally have a Brew Gentleman beer in proper Brew Gentleman swing top glassware. This beer is called BG Pilsner. You can see there it says dry hop lager. So I'm guessing it's more of an American-style Pilsner. It's 4.8 ABV. So when I went there this past weekend, I didn't try... only one of the four... So I got four of these, four different things. Only one of the four did I try on tap. The other ones, I trust them enough to get them blindly. But I got all of the ones that have this 15104 logo on it, which is their like one-off series that they don't necessarily make on a consistent or even like semi-regular basis. So I wanted to do reviews of those because the other ones I can get, more often. So I've heard really good things about this. I'm pretty excited to crack it open. And so you'll find too, most of their beers when you open the these swing tops, they don't cap on foam. They fill them completely to the top. So whenever you open them, they pretty much have no hiss. So it kind of sounds like they're flat, but then they pour like perfectly. So let's see if it's... So I mean, this one did pour a little light, but it's definitely not flat. Obviously, you can tell the white head that's sticking around, but it was I did pour it pretty gently too, so I'm sure that's part of it. But so as you can see, it's definitely not a traditional Pilsner in the vein of being crystal clear. It's a pretty cloudy, nice, bright straw color with about a half a finger's worth of white head that's sticking around. Oh man, that aroma is so good. It's really nice, like lemongrass and orange, with a great it's lemongrass and also grass, like regular grass, like grass clippings. There's definitely a really nice doughy, crackery malt character, and it just smells like it's going to be super clean and refreshing, which I'm really excited. Sorry, I heard a string noise. My dog was just being goofy. So that's definitely even more dry hop than I was expecting, given the aroma. Very, very bright, clean hop character, but it is lemony and earthy. So it's definitely not like the noble hop variety. More Americanized, but it's also not like tropical and juicy, so it's somewhere in between those. I would be curious to find out what hops are used in this, because it's very like citrusy, but not in the orange character. It's more like lemony. But it does have, just like the aroma, a very nice like doughy, crackery malt character to it. It's really, really crisp and clean, which, you might not think given how hazy it is, but other than... So it's not crisp in the sense that it is dry and the flavor drops off really quickly, because that's not the case. The flavor definitely lingers around, so I mean it's different than a traditional Pilsner in that sense. But it's just super clean in the sense that it's completely flawless. Every flavor is on point, and you can tell that it's purposeful. And there's nothing about it that it is sticks out too much. There's nothing about it that I think is a detractor from the beer. So it is an interesting take on a Pilsner, and I'm kind of surprised they did something like this, because I know when they do these type of lager beers, they usually try to get closer to a traditional product, but they do describe it as a dry hop lager. So seeing that, I'm not necessarily going to expect that I'm going to get like Prima Pils, and even that for a Pilsner is very hop forward, but it's noble hop, like German noble hop forward. This definitely has more of a. This kind of reminds me of almost like a hazy India Pale Lager, but with a really perfected Pilsner base. That's kind of my take on it. So if I was judging this strictly on like the guidelines of Pilsner, I would say they didn't do that good of a job, because it definitely doesn't fit all those guidelines. But as a beer overall, it is fantastic. I love this, and I open this to be my final beer of the night, but I might open another one after I finish this, just because I'm excited to see what else they have next. Because this is absolutely killer, and this actually reminds me a lot of the Fauna Flora Nebo Pilsner. It's definitely not the exact same malt profile, but it's very Americanized. But at the same time, you can tell that the brewer was so skilled at keeping the grain bill in the picture, and also making it super crisp and clean and still a crushable beer. This reminds me of that a lot. So I would absolutely buy this again. I think if a pour of this, or a swing top fill was maybe 9. I know usually they're 9 or 10, depending on if they're like smaller beers or double IPAs. But then usually the really simple lagers are even 8 sometimes, which I think is pretty cheap for $7.50. This one might have been 9 though, because it is pretty hop forward, so that, it might have been a little more expensive. But some other things they do are only 8, and which I think is a great price. Even 9 for this is. I would absolutely do that all day. So I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.